Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Mike's DVDs and Blu-rays collection. I'm your host, Mike. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks for coming back for another episode. This is a Western Roundup. I know you guys like watching these. I like talking about these. I like watching these movies, matter of fact. So today, I got a mixture. I picked up some new multi-film sets. You know, the DVD sets that have like 20 movies or 10 or 5 or 50. So I picked up an assortment of them. In some cases, I got the set to get one movie, to see one movie or something. A lot of times they're no good. A lot of times they don't really have great transfers and stuff. Also got a couple of other classic movies to show you, classic westerns I happen to pick up. So let's get to the first one. This is a 12 Western film collection. This is from Mill Creek. Mill Creek's been known to do a lot of these type of sets. And this one is called The Legendary West, featuring Marlon Brando, Lee Van Cleef, Jack Palance, Franco Nero, Cameron Mitchell, and Richard Harrison. So that's a great cast. So we got movies like the typical ones you see in these. Beyond the Law, Death Rides a Horse, His Name Was King, One-Eyed Jacks, Minnesota Clay, Keoma, movies like that. I think what I got this one for was to see if it had a better print of His Name Was King, which is a movie that I'm really wanting to get a nice Blu-ray of one day, and I'm hoping that maybe Arrow will put that out in their next box set. But I got that one basically to see how it looked, because you can get these really cheap used on eBay, and I think I only paid a few bucks for this, so it was a win-win either way. Next up, this is another one from Mill Creek. This is one of the more popular ones you see. Now this one goes really deep into some spaghetti western. Now these have a bunch of westerns on here that I really never heard of. A couple of them, these are really second, third, maybe even fourth class spaghetti westerns. Now some of these aren't good, some of these are okay, but what you get with these DVD collections are you get ones that don't really have great prints or sound and stuff, but it's a mix. It's a kind of a flip of the coin. You take your chances. But this is one I got. This is 10,000 More Ways to Die. There's another edition called 10,000 Ways to Die. This is 10,000 More Ways to Die. It's a 12 film set from Mill Creek, 3 discs. So it's one of those flipper ones. It's got like 4 movies on one disc. But this one's got some variety in it. If you're a real spaghetti connoisseur like me, it's got 3 Bullets for Ringo, 7 Hours of Gunfire, Dead for a Dollar, Django Kill is probably the only one that's kind of well known on here that's good. Fistful of Lead. It's got a movie called White Comanche with William Shatner. It's actually pretty good. I actually watched that on another set, but it's actually pretty good. But yeah, it says over 18 hours of gunslinging greats. There you go. Now, if I would recommend this or not recommend it, I would say skip it if you're just a casual spaghetti western fan. If you're a diehard fan, it's worth getting just to kind of check out these oddball movies out and stuff. But yeah, pretty interesting nonetheless. Next up, this is one. This is a 5 movie collection. This is called just called Westerns over 6 hours. Now this is from Echo Bridge Entertainment. And the reason I got this particular one was to get Bullets Don't Argue, which is a really good movie, starring, I think, is it Cameron Mitchell? Let me see, who is starring in this? Oh, Rod Cameron. Yeah, it's a Rod Cameron movie from like 63, 64. It's one of those early spaghetti westerns when Hollywood stars were just starting to come over to Italy to start making these westerns and stuff. This is before Sergio Leone did the Dollars trilogy and before Corbucci did his first movies. So it's kind of on the tipping scale being spaghetti western, but it's a really good movie. It's a great early spaghetti western. Bullets don't argue, and it's a pretty good print of this. I went with this set thinking it would be a good, and I gambled well. Looks pretty good. So there you go, guys. And finally, as far as these sets go, this one's called 20 Wild Westerns, Marshals and Gunmen. This was put out by TGG Direct LLC, which, you know, has some really good movies on here. Again, you get Beyond the Law. You get some of the early 30s John Wayne movies, you know, the cheapies that he did. You got some Roy Rogers on here. It's got a lot of Lee Van Cleef. Let's see. He's got an early one called Raiders of Old California. And I think the movie that I got this for was There's a Noose Waiting for You, Trinity, that stars Klaus Kinski. And I think that's what I got it for. It's got the Proud Rebel on there. Revenge of a Gunfighter, Jack Palance and Franco Nero from 1968. So it's got a few good ones on there, but I think I got it for that Klaus Kinski movie. There's a Noose Waiting for You, Trinity. So there you go. Pretty interesting. And now I didn't pay much at all. I probably did not pay over $4 or $5 for these shipped. These were really, really cheap. So I didn't have a lot invested in that. So there you go. Now these are two really good westerns from the 40s and 50s. One is very infamous, but this is one that I got for Christmas, and finally I watched it afterwards. But this stars Edmund O'Brien, Yvonne DiCarlo, Barry Fitzgerald. This is directed by Byron Haskin, who did a lot of mixture of stuff, sci-fi. He started out as a special effects supervisor or creator. This is a movie this was released on Olive Films from Paramount in 1951. It's called Silver City, and it's really good. Edmund O'Brien is really good as always. He was always really good in film noirs and westerns and stuff, and he's really good in this. And Yvonne DiCarlo is kind of the woman that he learns to trust, and she ends up being an ally for him later on and stuff. But yeah, great movie. Got some backstabbing going on in this. But yeah, this is a great movie. This is definitely a repeat watch movie. This is something you're going to want to watch. But it's one of those good early Paramount movies of the 50s. Some of those oddballs, that kind of movies that like Alan Ladd did and stuff like that. These are really good, and they kind of fall through the cracks, and people don't really know them well, but they're really pretty much A pictures. I mean, it's pretty much if it's a B movie, then it's a B plus. I mean, it's really good. So there you go, Silver City. And finally, guys, this is a movie from Kino Classics. This is the notorious, the infamous, The Outlaw. That's right, The Outlaw, the famous movie with Jane Russell and her debut with her assets and everything. A movie produced, somewhat directed by Howard Hughes himself. They actually had Howard Hawks come in and kind of finish up the movie a little bit. Has a great cast. Some of the people are miscast in it, but great actors nonetheless. I mean, you got Walter Houston, you got Thomas Mitchell, Jane Russell, and then they got the newcomer Jack Butel, who plays Billy the Kid, which is, he's okay, but you can tell he's never really done any movies. But yeah, it's a hard movie to get through. As much as I want to get through this movie, it's just so hard to get through. It's so hokey and cheesy and just kind of I don't know. It's something about it. But yet I want to try to watch it again. I don't know. It's like a movie that I want to try to give hope to. just because it has so much story to it, you know, the backstory to making this movie and the people involved, everything. And I originally saw this, no kidding, back in the early 80s. There was a show called Mad Movies. I don't know if some of your older guys might remember that, but it used to come on TV, and it was kind of the granddaddy to Mystery Science Theater. Like, they would sit there and like dub the voices. The movie would play, and the guys would like dub them, you know. They would just be like, hey, blah, 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 blah. And they would show the Outlaw a lot. They did Terror in Tiny Town, the Western with the small people, and different ones like that. And that's how I originally saw this. And, you know, that was hilarious when you're 8 years old. But I try to give it, I don't know, maybe I need to watch it again, but it's famously not that great. I mean, it's not that bad, but it's not that great either. It's just so-so. But yeah, The Outlaw. But I had to finally get it, and it's a pretty decent print. It's been famously in the public domain forever. But there you go, guys. The Outlaw from 1943. That's it, guys. That's all of them, I promise. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. That's some new Western stuff I've picked up over the past weeks or so and been watching and everything. Hope you guys liked this. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Also, comment, let me know what you think about that, especially about The Outlaw. What do you think about The Outlaw? Does anybody remember Mad Movies? Anyways, until next time, guys, I'm Mike. Take it easy out there. Watch a good movie, and I'll see you guys later.